generational translator. So she helps organizations move beyond the hand-me-down leadership and outdated systems we've all come to loathe. As the founder of Cardigan Careers, she's here to help leaders improve the generational intelligence to build workplace cultures that retain talent and thrive across every level. So how you doing, Christina?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. And I got to tell you, I'm so energized from stepping out of the room with Ronnie. And I cannot wait for everyone to get to learn to know her so much more. And today, Ronnie, really looking forward to the insights you're going to share with us today. So,
Yeah, I want to
all
say the
right.
green room could be a whole nother talk show, but we'll save that for a whole nother, whole nother time. But with
Absolutely.
that, Christina, go ahead and introduce our guests.
Absolutely. So thank you, Ronnie, one, for joining us today. We cannot wait to hear your gems, right, of moving along in your journey and to share with our audience and both those who are tuning in live today, as well as who may be watching and listening to this recording for many years to come, because I know that this is just the beginning. So everyone, to introduce you to Ronnie Dickerson Stewart, who's known as the ultimate sparkle sprinkler and the people's champ, is a champion for change, a voice for inclusion, and a trusted guide for growth. As an executive coach, inclusion advocate, a podcast host, and proud mom, there's nothing that she cannot do. Can you? I know that this was a short list, right? Ronnie brings real world leadership experience and unstoppable energy to everything she touches. And believe me, this is no show. Ronnie, I know, is the truth. So, Ronnie, thank you so much for joining us today. And I just have to ask you, where did you get your nicknames? Because to be called the Sparkle Sprinkler, for one, so who has doused you with this nickname?
People around me, through their voice or their interactions, have affirmed how I show up for them, which is really nice to hear, for sure. But also nice to continue to live into in terms of intent and how I connect with people. I'm hoping to sparkle and sprinkle and do all the things with the folks who have showed up here to spend time with us. But I have to just give gratitude, Nicole and Christina. The green room conversation could have gone, that's an entirely different podcast over there, which will be, if it ever sees the light of day, it will be hilarious, affirming. But I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, we are glad to have you. And I just want to throw out there, so Ronnie and I, many moons ago, worked together at an organization. That's where I first met her. So I do want to co-sign with the Sparkle Sprinkler and just thank you for not only just being a good human, but being a good friend. And I know when I can call you to lean on you or if I have questions, because you're, years ahead of me in your journey of doing this on your own. And when I was reaching out or looking for like inspiration, I know I could reach out to you. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
And Nicole, thank you for being you. This is, we're all works in progress, but the progress doesn't happen without surrounding ourselves with good people and aligned people. And you are one of those people. So I am in the Nicole Appreciation Society too. We should get t-shirts. It's all a good thing. So thank you. Christina's in it too. We're in it. We got t-shirts. Good people.
Oh, thank you. So, okay. So with that, let's kick off. So Ronnie, what does confidence look like for you right now?
Ooh, in this moment, it's so fascinating to even receive that question. Confidence right now is like an everyday practice. It's something that is aligned with how I decide intentionally to walk through the world in the face of so much uncertainty, to be honest. Like thinking about it, like macro uncertainty, meaning the world around us shifting right under our feet for reasons that are both nefarious, as much in some pockets as they might be interesting, curious, or delightful. But even when I think about confidence, I think about it locally. As a mom of three, as a business owner, a leader, now an author, I'm writing my first book. Confidence looks like being able to show up and do for myself first what I need to do and what I require to be a whole human, and then be able to pour a little bit extra. Like that belief really for me right now is confidence. And then overall is that things will be okay. They may not be as planned, but I have this kind of subtle hum. And it's really one of those things that's been a self-regulating practice over the course of years, like through seeking good wisdom, through going through a lot of cultural change. I've had to find the space, my own truth around okayness. Like these things are happening around me, but how can I be okay? And so my confidence really sits in that. And when I say it's a daily practice, it's because there's so much coming at all of us all the time that can shake confidence, whether it's a professional situation or a personal situation or culture, that can have us question our okayness. I've really had to work hard to cultivate this kind of, not even a bubble, but this posture of confidence despite all these other things constantly happening around me and us.
I love that. I especially love the word okayness. I love that. That speaks volumes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the concept of being okay, right, is like the same thing as being fine. Oh, I'm fine, right? It's like just moving through life as opposed to really acknowledging kind of how you're feeling, you know, and not every day is the same, and some days suck. Right? And
big time. You know, Christina, it's interesting because when I think of the word okay, and maybe this is the mama in me, I think about like one of my kids stubbing their toe or hurting themselves. And I look at them, I'm like, are you okay? Or you're okay? Or say those words. And it's kind of like this regulating voice of, okay, we've looked at the situation around us. I am affirming my own feelings or someone's feelings, and I'm safe. I'm good.
Yeah.
Even if things aren't perfect. And so when I say okayness, I mean at that like very even physiological sense of checking in. Like I'm constantly like, you're good, you're okay. And then confidence can be built off of that. Again, self-regulation and understanding.
Yeah. Well, how about along that journey, what has been something that you might have had to kind of reframe, right, or unlearn in order to get to where you are, right?
Ooh, so it's fascinating. And I'll use like the get to where I am. Maybe I'll talk about it from a professional standpoint and then just like a how I move through the world standpoint. When I'm having conversations like this, a lot of them are about trajectory. And again, we're talking about bold moves and confidence around them. To get to where I am, the things that I've had to unlearn have been all about things that people maybe with good intentions have passed to me about what's required to do something, to go someplace, to live a certain way. And when I say good intentions, like I'm raised with a family that is brilliant in their work ethic. They have been mostly blue collar or farmers. And so when I deigned to take a different professional path, there weren't necessarily blueprints that I could just easily adopt that would validate that the pathway was air quote okay. And so me hearing from people around me about be careful in that city that you're going to move to, or watch out for this, or maybe expect something different, or sometimes expect a little bit less and be okay with it, because the kind of bar for what okay was based on their previous experiences were very specific. Now for me, I had to unlearn the idea that their perspective was the only way to be okay and safe. And I also had to unlearn any judgment around that too. A lot of us kind of look in retrospect and judge harshly the lessons we were taught. Some of them to this day, I can look back and say, ooh, that was a good lesson there, but this one over here, not so much. And so I've had to unlearn just adopting someone's template and then ingesting it and expecting the same results. As I always tell people, results may vary. I was, many, many years older when I sat and had conversations with my own mother around her trajectory professionally and her retirement. My mom's been retired almost as long as she's worked at this point. Most of my adult life, she's been retired. So imagine me, my perspective of work looks like a person that does something to a certain point and has ease and provision because she had a government job. So she doesn't have to worry about a lot of the things we worry about. The disruption for me was that I don't have a government job. No one's going to give me a gold watch. I don't have a pension. I have to work very diligently to be okay in the realest sense long term. And so those types of things, she couldn't teach me how to do that in my frame. So I've had to unlearn even ingesting what it feels like to move a certain way at a certain point so that I don't honestly rest on my laurels too hard and not facilitate the things I need to facilitate to take care of future Ronnie. So there's a lot of active unlearning going on around that, and me creating a lot of provisions for what I'm doing today, which is leading a company, and the future version of myself who one day will not, who will do something else and still has responsibilities.
What I love, Ronnie, is that you're creating that blueprint for your kids.
Yeah. A template.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, when do you feel the most visible in your life, either life or work? When do you feel the most visible?
Where I feel the most seen or most visible? Which one?
I'd say when you feel the most visible.
I feel very visible when I'm out and about. Like, I've made a very specific decision around the work that I want to do in this season. And I'm in a situation where I have made bold moves and exits. I've never made a bold move or exit that's been like, sign this paperwork and don't do this or don't do that. I've never done that. I've never put myself in a position to where I had to have restrictions on my voice or I could and could not say, which is a very provocative place to be in when you then want to go out and tell the truth about what's required to move through certain spaces or what's required to be okay on the other side of other experiences. And I feel very visible when I start to get into that space and start to speak very clearly and tell the truth. And what I notice is that it sparks for people because a lot of folks are functioning under a set of limitations that are meant to keep them okay and that are upright and worthwhile to pursue based on where they are. And I'm on the other side of some of those limitations. And to show up and just be your whole self is provocative, and it is an achievement for some who still want to do that. And I do that, and I know I'm visible, and I do it consciously because I want to invite people and provoke them to places where they could do that for themselves too.
I'm curious with that. When did you feel like you were making an impact?
Ooh, in general? Like on this side of my lived experience?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So it's interesting because the impact that I started to create through Oh Hey Coach and through my practice happened before I left corporate, because I would see my calendar be, on the books, it looked one way, but off the books, the conversations were plenty with people seeking out wise counsel, advice, and coaching from me. And this is even before I pursued an actual, any of my coaching certifications. Before I even did those, I was positioned as this person who, we spend time with, and I could offer some thoughts. And I started to see, and even now I'll have people come back to me and remind me of a conversation that we might have had years ago that supported them in a very specific trajectory. And I know that impact started to be considered and facilitated way back when I realized that when it comes to work, especially in knowledge work, where I've always worked in some type of knowledge work, even if I'm in a product-led organization, there's still a knowledge worker component of the work I've done, or a client service related work. The people are the product, if you will. They are the biggest asset, and they are the ones that need to be cultivated. And they are the one, it's not the processes, it's none of that, it's the people. And so I used to just love spending more time if we can optimize and help and support the people, all this other stuff would work out. And so I made a big bet on that. And that is when I started to see a lot of the impact in the folder. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. I love that. And I completely agree with you, Ronnie, is that the people in any organization are the greatest asset that they will ever have, right? Next to their customers, next to any product or service they will ever start to deploy. So let me ask you this. When you think about, many people who are currently in their 9-to-5s, or they're on an entrepreneur journey, whether it's a side hustle or something full-time, confidence is always a question. It's something I know for me that comes up practically daily. And what would you say to someone who was trying to find, how do you start to tap into, really standing in their power, really kind of diving in deep to figure out, how do I start to realize, what I'm confident in, right? And how to kind of take that forward. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I don't believe you realize it by sitting on the sideline and just ruminating on it and thinking about it is the first thing. I think the confidence comes from getting in the field and testing and learning a whole lot wherever you are. If it's an entrepreneurial venture that you think might be interesting for you, you can test and learn through entrepreneurship if you are in a 9-to-5. If it is not, you could do something on the side that doesn't require your energy or time. That is, air quotes, more passive, if you want to do that too, right? You can ask people around you to, spend time with them, whether it's entrepreneurship or something else. Say you want to move a position or experience something new. You can quietly, spend time and, kind of be an understudy and shadow someone and get a little bit of their wisdom through just example. You can volunteer. There's a lot of things you can do. My point is get in the field and test, test and then learn. And the biggest thing above that is when you're testing, sometimes it feels like especially when you're doing something new, it feels like everyone's going to see it. What if I fail? The whole world's going to look at me and then I'll be air quote a failure, especially if you're at a certain level or you have a certain level of expertise you've earned over time. It can be difficult to pivot or to consider just exploring something different. And people often resist it because it's not their capability. It is sometimes their ability to deal with the consequence of testing and then maybe air quote failing and maybe being seen failing. But I'm like, but what if people saw you try? Or what if no one saw you try but you? Or what if all you were doing was testing and learning for your own benefit? And I share that with people because it's like most people are not paying attention to what you do anyways. And factually, I think people say that on the internet all the time, but no one's caring. So if I say anything that sounds like an internet cliche, do know that I've tested and learned it in my own life. And so I will qualify that. But you may often hear people say on the internet, just, don't be afraid to be seen trying, or no one's looking at you. Those are actually factual things that I've had to experience. Like even things like, I have a logo or a brand, or I'm going to say I'm doing this. And what if I don't like it? What will they think? No one's worried about your pivot. They're probably not even noticing it. But what you will notice is the feeling of, stasis or regret in your spirit for not moving forward on something that could have been a thing. And furthermore, I'm a person who just seeks good wisdom from people who are years and years and years and years and years ahead of me. I'm talking about octogenarians, folks who are they've lived their life in a way that they can reflect on and talk about. And they talk about the regret, sitting with regret around things that they did not do or pursue, or levels of boldness and audacity they didn't utilize at a very specific point in their time, in their age, or in their life, rather, where they could have done it, because no one's worried about them now. No one's worried about them then. And I try to embody as much as that wisdom as I can, even when it feels a little bit difficult, because I push myself out there so often to do new things. Now the test and learn is just a part of what I do and what I often recommend and invite others into who are trying to do something different.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, that's great. And you're absolutely right. People are not, because I can attest to it as well. People are not paying so close attention to you to be like, you said you were going to do this and it's what's going on, right? Like you didn't do that. Or, and honestly, in the concept of failing and doing so, what we believe is so visible to others, to your point around trying, right? Because to be honest, they are hungry for real. They're hungry for connection. Nobody wants to watch somebody who's all perfect. I mean, how many times do you scroll and see somebody be like, that life looks manicured, right? That's not a real life.
Yeah. And I was laughing. I was thinking, because I had talked to both of you all on separate times, thinking about when I was feeling some kind of way about my website, and feeling like, oh, God, I messed up. And you both are like, yeah, you're good. You know how many times I did this? But you don't think it when you're in it. But like you said, that whole thing of somebody's looking at, ain't nobody worried about you. You are not McDonald's. You are not KFC. You are not Oprah. You're going to be okay. and even
no one's going to their website. I mean, Oprah, different, but no one's going to McDonald's website. But you know what? Let's consider cheeseburgers. No, they are in the field getting the burgers. They are, or whatever. No one's like, let me dwell on this. The persnickety people will, and there are some people who are just put on this earth to examine what others are doing, to call in, to reflect. I notice, I've known some of those individuals and observed them. I am a people observer through and through. What I often notice about those individuals is that depending on the person they're projecting to, it's either that they kind of care and, they want to inject themselves in a way that seems supportive. The delivery may not always be there. Or other times they've been on the field too, or on the sideline and they want to get in the field, and maybe they're looking at what you're doing through a lens of what they would do or how they would do it. Either way, it's a projection of something with them. It's never about you. Now, I will qualify that to say, as a person who's put together their own websites, this, that, the other, it's going to be terrible sometimes. However, sometimes it's just not okay. And we can laugh at it. You know, I tell people, oh, hey, coach used to have a different name and it sounded like a law firm. Folks who know the name of the company before it was, oh, hey, coach. That was a fail. That wasn't cute. But we learn, right? No one's thinking about that right now. Yep. And I mention it and it's just like a throwaway comment for people because they're like, girl, we don't know about that. Like, give me the goods. Give me the impact. I don't care if you have a logo. Yeah. Send me the things. Like, no one cares about that. They just want to experience the impact that you believe your purpose to deliver. And they want to see that iterated. That's what matters. Get in the field.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. All right. So we have something for you, Ronnie, a little something. It's a game we play. And again, all of you at home, wherever you are, you can play along too. But it's really about finishing the sentences and again, dropping some more gems. So I want to kick off with confidence hits different when, and then you complete that sentence.
Oh, this is me? Okay. Okay. Confidence hits different when. Ooh, Lord. When you know you are all you need, or when you know you're the one you've been waiting for.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, how about next? Lately, I've been brewing more, and this can be anything around energy, boundaries, joy, right? What are you kind of reaffirming?
Lately, I've been brewing more around retirement. In my 40s, considering the next chapter of retirement down the road and the provisions that need to be put in place now to make true what I want to have happen 15, 20 years from now.
Nice. All right. When I sip my confidence, it tastes like
ginger ale, a little spicy, good for you, tasty, available. Mix it with some tussin, make you feel better. Tastes like ginger ale.
I need some of that ginger ale. Okay, how about the boldest thing I've said lately is?
Ooh. I said to someone, and then I wrote about it, I'm just trying to get you closer to your own knowing, meaning that it's not about a template that I'm giving you. I'm working to help you know what you know already to be true and not lean on me or anyone else for it. It's already there. It's like I'm just facilitating you getting closer to that.
Nice.
That's great.
So I know I'm in alignment when
I get out of bed in the morning and I'm not concerned about the calendar or I don't have a stressful feeling. Yeah. I don't feel any strain. And it's been that way for a very long time. I will say that's a different conversation for another day. The unlearning of that feeling when you get out of the bed in the morning, if you have to go into a place that doesn't feel that way. Yeah. Unlearning that feeling or that default is big. But yeah, I get out in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's morning, no stress.
Yeah, that's a blessing right there. That's a blessing. Yeah.
Goals. # goals. How about my go-to confidence booster is?
Dancing. Dancing. For me, it's not even like I need someone to tell me something. It's just I need to like be in my own body and remember like how I feel most confident and free and, put on some music. I share music with my clients all the time. They have the Oh Hey Monday monthly playlist. And I was literally listening to it on the way in today to spend time with you all. And I'm just like, just put a good music on and just let me move. And it just reminds me of who I am every time.
Yeah, I feel you in that. I do some really good concerts at home by myself.
Oh, yeah. So I'm on a world tour. Yeah. I'm on Cash Money taking over for the 99, the 2000s tour yesterday.
Hello. I'm telling you, if I sold tickets, I'm just saying. I tell my son and my husband all the time, y'all missed a good one. It was good.
I'll be your backup dancers. Usually backup dancers. blessing.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So to flip that, on low energy days, I remind myself what?
Of who matters, who the stakeholders of You Inc. are, and they are all around me. So low energy is usually rarely rooted in something that's going on with the people in my house. So I remember, oh, I am theirs and they are mine. And that is all that matters. Nothing else can matter but that. So let's start there.
Nice.
These are gems. I mean, Nicole, I think we need more questions for Ronnie because I can't just like, please, you just like are filling my cup this morning. So, and sorry if you can hear background noise. The last question is, so I shine brightest when?
I don't know, when others shine. I don't know. I just feel like it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. I'm like, oh, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I get like, I get teary eyed thinking about it. Okay, we're live, so I can't be crying in the caffeine
But I
club.
understood all those noises you made. Just so you know, I understood all those noises you made.
But that's my favorite thing. I recently did a retreat for a group of leaders, and we were on the beach. We were in South Carolina. We had a beach house. It was just dedicated for them so that they could have privacy and they could just really just be themselves. And seeing all the unlocks, I had to literally a couple of nights, they don't even know this. A couple of nights I had to go to my room and just like scream or dance or even shed a tear because it was just so good. It was so good to just see the unlocks. And again, I'm just facilitating and then to some degree strategizing. So I had the coach and the consultant hat on, but the way my empath shows up when I see other people, like it just getting good for other people. And sometimes I have to suppress it because my empath can be very heavy. I'm like, let me not cry all over you. Let me go someplace else and just like be with myself. But like, that's where I feel I feel like I see myself in the fullest expression of purpose when that is happening. Like I just see it. I get chills thinking about it. I'm like, yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
and
I
apparently
love that.
you're giving chills to people who are tuning in, Ronnie. So I just
Yes.
wanted to share this gem that a listener has popped in here. We are with you. Ronnie has been dropping the gems and the fire this entire session. So thank you all for tuning in. Just wanted to share that.
Aw, I love that. And pink and green tells me some things. Hey, I can't see the name, but thank you.
Yes. Well, and from somebody who's been on that receiving end, I thank you for that energy because you feel it. I mean, it says a lot. So yeah, it gets me excited. Like you, I'm trying not to cry, but I've been on the receiving end of that Ronnie energy, and you do feel like, ooh, I could leap off this building and fly. So don't do that, please. But I'm just saying that's the feeling.
Not processed. It's all natural. We're not. Like, here's the thing about that. When you say that, it's just like it's affirming in a way, but it's like exciting for me to you. I'm excited for you because I don't think that we, in certain points in our life, get to be in community with people or in spaces that fill a lot for you all too, who do the work that you do. You fill a lot of other people's cups on a very regular basis, or you're in the world in a way, or people come to you for that. They see you as that. And so anytime you can get into a space where you can not even just be poured into, but connect and have unlocks, that is a good day. Like I fly across the country or even pay money to put myself in those spaces, because when you pour out, like the cup filler, like as like hygiene for taking care of yourself, is so huge. Like I underestimated how much it's required to get in community with the right people to pour into you, or even the right aligned clients or companies. I underestimated what was required for that. And now I engineer how I live and even my business towards more time with that, because it is my recovery. So, I mean, recently I flew out to one of my coaches who's in California, just for a whole day for just getting poured into. And it was like, I'm in an aligned space where I can just exist. Like that happens so rarely for so many people. And we just need more, like we need to assemble our people so that we can have other touches of that now more than ever. So I'm a big proponent of that.
Well, and that's one thing I am taking from you, and I need to do a better job with that. And I watch you do it, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta emulate that because it is important. It is important.
For
So
real.
I love what you said because we're so busy, and we love it. Don't get me wrong, filling other people's cups, but then when ours are dry, it's like, okay, I need something. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
having I have several coaches. I've had many coaches throughout my career, and I continue to invest in that because there has to be some pouring into our cup, right?
Mhm.
And we don't know everything, and going to others to be able to help us understand and pull these pieces together because nobody does life by themselves. And if you
Mm.
try, you will not be successful,
No.
right? So
No.
well, Ronnie, I cannot tell you that. Please give us all of the information. Tell our listeners, anybody watching live or even the replay, how can they connect with you? I've already dropped your website there, but how can others connect with you to know more about what you're doing?
Well, if you want to know generally what I am up to and what I'm doing, there are two places for just general, like, let's just connect. The first place, we're on LinkedIn right now. It's so easy. This is the first stop. If we are not connected on LinkedIn, please let's do that here. Like, I'm in my LinkedIn inbox. Those who know me know I'm sending voice memos and connecting. Like, connect there first. Make sure we are good to go there, and tell me that you were here today, and maybe even tell me something that was a gem for you, so that we can know and celebrate what hit. So start there. You could also go to my website, ohheycoach.com. Oh Hey Coach, OHHEYCOACH.com. It's also a link is on my LinkedIn page. Go there if you want to know more about the services and the impact we drive with Oh Hey Coach. Now, if you want a more personal connection, every single Monday for the past 2.5 or more years, I do this thing called an Oh Hey Monday newsletter. And it's created this very broad community of individuals who we like to start our week together on a good word, on a good note. And there's a newsletter that comes out every single Monday with coaching considerations, provocations, and goodies. Like every first Monday of the month, I send out I mentioned earlier, our Oh Hey Monday playlist. This month is 3.5 hours long, which is quite unusual. So it's like taking us to some places that we need to be in preparation for the season ahead. And so to visit me and be in that community, there's a link on my LinkedIn that says join newsletter. You can join it that way, or you can go to ohheyjoin.com and you'll be added to that. Those are the starting points. Anything that I share related to coaching, opportunities, my own VIP days that I facilitate, podcast episodes when I drop them. And right now, that community is on the back end of my author journey. I'm writing my first book that will land in 2026,
Nice.
which is its own journey. They hear about it there first before anyone. And so I would invite everybody to just come hang out over there. I promise it's a good time.
This is awesome. Ronnie, thank you so much. For me, Christina and I kind of talked about this a little yesterday, but I had wanted to do caffeine and confidence last year. I was just starting out and I was just like, I wanted to be right. So I didn't do it and I backed out of it. But then I thought about it again this year, had the opportunity to meet Christina, and I was like, ooh, would you like to do this with me? Immediately she was like, yes. And I'm glad I did it
It
because
was a hell yes. I'm sorry. It was a hell yes.
because I'm at the stage and just from learning people like you, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it.
Just
And
do it.
I'm so glad that we are at this point and you are here and dropping these gems and just want to give you all your flowers. So just thank you. Thank you for your time. Really do
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
Oh, thank you all for like allowing me to be on your platform and be a part of this. What you've created, I think, is brilliant. I can't wait for more. This is so exciting.
Yeah.
But also to be like good community members who are doing great work for others. It's great to be able to like know people like you and to know that none of us are alone, and we always are just a phone
Yes.
call or a message away. So thank you.
Nice, nice.
Absolutely.
All right. So with that, before we wrap up, I always want to end on this note. I want everybody to take a breath, take this in. You didn't need this session to become confident. You needed it to remember who you are. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's showing up when it's messy, when you're unsure, when you're doing it anyway. So let this space refill you. Let this conversation remind you and carry the energy into whatever's next. Loud, proud, and unapologetically you. So with that, keep shining and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ronnie. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Take care.